Hey, this is TK11697, and today we're going to put on the final pieces of the Walt Trooper Factory TIE Pilot helmet. So, for starters, I've already painted the screws. I put the, tried it on from before. It's not finished, I got to glue it down the front, but that'll be done. I painted the screws black. It's a good idea to have black Humbrol or Tester's paint, just like this, some thinner and a small brush. You're going to need it for maintenance anyway. There's screws, 2 here, 2 on the side. These you don't need to worry about, they're going to be covered with greeblies, but you can paint them if you want. And then these down here. These are probably going to get covered with this trim anyway, but you could paint them. And you can keep these screws up a little bit. Sometimes you can saw them down, use a Dremel, cut them down, or actually some of these brass screws will just cut really easily. But we might save them for something I'll explain later. So that's done. I'm not going to put the ear greeblies on. I don't know if you can see it so well in the light. This is a aluminum greebly. I'll put the camera on it a little bit. The client I'm working for is getting his own, so it would go on here, a little bit of glue, preferably non-CA glue, and the reason is that when you put CA or crazy glue on black plastic, it's going to turn the edges of it white, and well, you don't want to have that. So again, a little bit of patience. Either just E6000, don't even do high glue, just E6000 right here, put it on, let it sit overnight. Same thing with the other side, that's done. Again, a dab of, these are the tusks that go on. They go on right in here. Same thing, just put them on. You could use, if you want to use CA glue you can, but again, just use E6000, put it on and keep them in place. That way there's no actual chemical reaction with the plastic, which is how CA glue works. It kind of melts the plastic, and then when it's black plastic, you're going to notice it. If it was a white plastic like a AT-AT helmet, you really wouldn't care that much because you wouldn't be able to see it. Next is the screen. The screen is going to go behind the teeth. It is 6 inches across, 2.5 wide, and I'm just going to tape it in using Gorilla Tape. You can use glue if you want, it's really unnecessary, but it's going to go across like this. So I'm going to put it in real quick with the tape, pieces of tape that I have pre-cut already, and then I'll show you what it looks like inside. You can put as much tape as you want in here, really. And you can make the screen bigger too if you want, but there are other things I want to put in the helmet, and so I don't want the screen to take up too much space. Specifically, I want to put in a microphone system, and I want to put in helmet fans to keep the fog off of the lenses. So I don't want the screen to eat up too much room, just enough to cover the teeth. Just had a few pieces of tape. I know it seems silly using tape, but actually it's kind of the best thing. And if you need to remove the screen, like if it rips or something and you want to replace it, it's not easy to pull off because the tape is pretty strong, but it's doable. And it won't do any damage to the helmet like glue might. So here we go. Screened from the front, according to the CRL, to obscure the face, and that's what it is. Also, you might have noticed there is this 3M Velcro. Again, I know the focus isn't so great with the lights. It's this 3M Velcro right here. It's already put on the inside above the tiers, in the middle, and above the other tier. The reason for that is for the lens. So the lens is 12 inches across, 2.5 inches wide, notched in the middle. I put tape so that it doesn't hurt the wearer's nose, which could happen if you put rubber or tape or anything just so it's not so sharp. I sand down the edges. Again, I don't like having sharp edges in the helmet anywhere. And we just pop that in. The one in the middle goes in first, and then the ones on the side you just put a lot of pressure, push in on the eye, pop it in, push it on the other eye, pop it in, and it's lensed. And again, to clean it, or if it cracks, if some kid should happen to poke his finger right through your eye, as has happened to me on several occasions, or if something breaks, you could just either replace it or snap it back in. If you want to clean it, you could pull it out. If you wanted to put bubble lenses in sometimes and other times not, I said it's very easy. So, greeblies in the ears presumably would be done, but again, this client doesn't want those, or he'll do it himself. The tuss I'll put on when I'm done with the trident. The last thing you have to do is stickers, which are the Imperial cogs. And God, I have extremely bright lights. There we go. There's two of them. I think they're gonna go up over here. And what you might want to get is this push here. It's meant for putting on vinyl stickers so that there's no bubbles and stuff like that. You just put it in and edge them on the way, where there's no bubbles. The way you're going to want to do this is somewhere between the cog over here. You're going to want to cut down. And the reason why you want to cut down, I'll try to show you once the camera focuses. If the camera ever focuses. Here we go. You're going to want to cut down over here. Because it's a circle going on a curved surface, it's not going to go on flat and perfect. It's going to bunch up, and you want it to bunch up sort of in the back over here where no one will notice. You don't want it to bunch up in the front. So you cut a little bit of the back, put it up here, and then use the push piece here to push it down. I'm going to put these on. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not work. Vinyl could be a little tricky. Let me cut the piece I want to cut. So, and just to show real quick what I mean, you see the cut I've made? There. Just because I don't know if it's going to be that noticeable after I put it on. So, peel the vinyl off. Make sure the sticker comes with it. Make sure this cuts all the way. There we go. Coming up around this side, and it's going to overlap a little, but not only is that correct, it's really the only way to get this done. So, there should be little or no air bubbles. You just work them out. So pushing outward. Make sure the vinyl is all stuck on the helmet. And you peel back at roughly 90 degrees if you can. I said don't try to just peel it off like a band-aid. Do it like I'm doing, where you put your finger down and pull it so that it tears evenly. There we go. One Imperial cog done. Not going to waste your time doing the other one. I'll just do that real quick. But that's it. There is a pillbox. You're going to get one with your kit. It goes on the back here. believe it goes like this. I usually check to make sure. Black side out, white side down with the hinges here. I personally would suggest going on Shapeways and getting the functional one. I have it on my real helmet, and I'll show you real quick what I mean. Here's my helmet. It's 3D printed, and oh, it picks up. You can put anything you want in there. I have my name and address and stuff in case I were to lose my helmet. But you can really keep anything in the pillbox. It's cool to have a functional pillbox. Looks better. Like I said, the other one's cast in plaster. It's not entirely perfect. It's got some little imperfections. I don't know if you can pick them up on the camera, but you know, 3D printed one. It costs you 20 bucks, but I think it's worth it since you've already spent a couple $100s on a helmet. You might as well make it look the best you can. There are no hubby mic tips, obviously, here. That's where the hoses are going to go. So the lenses are in good. I'm just going to lock down this trident, put on the tusks, and I said the client is going to supply the pillbox, and that's it. I said that's pretty much the end of the build, unless there's extras. I personally would put fans in. I always put fans in my kits. I don't do anything fancy with fans in the chest box. I put lights in my chest box. I put sounds in my chest box. There's plenty of room in the TIE Pilot helmet. It is, I think, other than the AT-AT helmet, I think it's the biggest helmet you can get. I have a tremendous head, and this will fit on me with no problem. Easily. I don't have to twist my head or anything. So what I would do is put 2 fans. I'd put them by the teeth, which, by the way, cut the teeth out. Just do it so you get some ventilation in there. Also, so that if your mic craps out, as they tend to do, people could hear you because you'll be talking into the teeth, and you could hear them because the sound will travel. If you have the eyes all sealed up, you don't have the teeth cut out, a lot of times people are going to come through muffled. So just cut them out. It's not that hard. Just use an X-Acto knife. If you get a handheld belt sander, very easy. Takes 2 seconds. All right, so maybe here and over here, I put fans blowing air up. And again, very roomy in this helmet, so that's not a problem. If you want to put a mic system, if you need to put power supplies, you have this whole interior mohawk. As a matter of fact, you got to fill that with something because your head's not going to go in there. You're going to wind up putting cloth in there or tons and tons of padding. So if you have any fancy electronics you want to put in there, like an ICOM or something, by all means. I like to also put in the back here, I don't know if you can see too well, if I have battery packs or anything, or hell, if I even just want to store my wallet in there, fits. I said your head does not go here. It's too narrow. You could keep an iPhone, a wallet, probably one of the bigger Galaxy Note 7s fit in there. It's tremendous. Great way to store things. I mean, of course, you have a flight suit on, so you could do that too, but it's huge. I think that's it. Definitely look at fans. Matt Nelson makes fans. Jonathan Walk makes fans. It just depends on what setup you want. And trim. Trim, to be perfectly screen accurate, was U-shaped trim going around here, and it was cut in sections so that it would fit. No one's checking. I don't even think it's in the CRL. I personally like to use the U-trim, flexible U-trim, and maybe S-trim here in the back. Also, if you want to be totally screen accurate, and if I have one, there was not a chin piece, but there was a chin strap. This is what I was telling you about the screws. You could hook a chin strap going across here to here of elastic. That's how in the movies they kept the helmet secure, because again, it is a huge helmet and it might float around on your head. So on this screw over here under one ear, this screw over here in the other ear, pop down a washer, chin strap, burn a hole in it using a soldering iron or something, another washer and a nut, screw it into place, hot glue over it. If you have a if you want to put, I've never saw a chin cup, but I guess you can if you want to, and you just have it in here to keep the helmet in place. And I think that's it. Oh, paint schemes. Yes, if you want to be fancy and paint, I'll show you again my helmet. This is one of the helmets I have. I've painted the entire helmet. This is not ABS, this is black paint. As you can see, I've done the rakes, I've done the widow's peak. You can do the trident if you want. The vocoder, I don't know. I went to town with this one because I've been painting models my whole life and I felt like I could do it. I've got other tie kits that don't have any paint on them at all. If you prefer the all black look, I did that in medium gray, and then I did it with glossy sealer. You could do silver, gunmetal, I think dark gray, but I found that medium gray came out better. It just kind of popped. Silver I thought was a little too gaudy. And that's it. If you have any questions, you could ask me. I could do a follow-up video with any Q&A, but I think I've covered everything. All right. Good luck.